buckle up and get ready to join Bobbie and I on our adventure. We arrived at the airport early in the morning and headed to our check-in. And then, wait, did you know the Macca's at the airport is 2-story? Look, they make the meals up here and then send them down on this mechanic machine. There's the food coming down now, and it goes down through to the bottom. Oh my goodness, I have never seen a Macca's like this before, and voila! There's your food ready to collect. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Maybe we should continue our journey. We headed back through the airport and made sure that we were ready and on time for our first flight. There are many different airlines that you can travel with, and Bobbie and I got our tickets with Singapore Airlines. And one of their cultural traditions is to give you a hot towel. I mean, that's a win. Bobbie loved it.
Depart on runway 34. From there, we'll be making a left turn and climbing to an...
You see, the thing about living in Australia is it takes a long time to get to other countries, so we had to take 2 flights. But don't worry, you can kill the time by watching movies or eating yummy snacks. They bring the food around to you on these cool little carts, and you can sit back, relax, and enjoy your movie, and they'll bring the food right to you. Bobbie was a bit confused because it looked a lot different to the lunches we normally have. And booyah! They even had dessert. The journey continued as we flew over Uluru, which is a sacred site to the Anangu people who've cared for this land for thousands of years. And before you know it, we had made it to Singapore Airport. This airport is one of a kind. Take a look at all of the butterflies vibing around with tropical plants and even an indoor waterfall. Thousands of butterflies from all kinds of species fluttered about, so we know that Bobbie the bee felt right at home. With these lush plants and beautiful butterflies, it was honestly not a bad spot for a layover if you ask me. A layover is just a fancy word for a stopover between flights, which can sometimes be boring, but this one was way too fun. Okay, Bobbie, I think we better go. We don't want to miss our connecting flight, so we headed over to find the next terminal. We had to catch a train because the airport's so big. We waited for the SkyTrain, and when it arrived, we took a quick little trip from one side of the airport to the other. Singapore's Changi Airport isn't just one of the busiest in the world, it's also won world's best airport multiple times. As you ride the SkyTrain between terminals, in the middle, you can see the Jewel, a massive indoor garden, and the Rain Vortex, which is the world's tallest indoor waterfall. We still had a lot of time before our next flight, which would get us to our final destination, so we kept exploring the airport, and there were so many cool things to see. Check out our song that we made using plants. You heard me, plants. And if you want to know more, try Googling this. Okay, Bobbie, let's keep exploring. We made our way through more cool things to see and do in the airport. And before you know it, Bobbie was making so many friends. Bobbie made friends with a cheetah, a zebra, and even a giraffe. And then we spotted this. Sunflower garden? What? We couldn't find it here. Oh, quick jump break. And we couldn't find it here, but we kept searching until we came across a sunflower garden in the airport. Bobbie was so excited to have a little break with Bobbie's family. Bees like Bobbie play a huge role in pollination, helping plants grow and food to flourish. So not only are bees cute like Bobbie, they're vital. 1/3 of the food that we eat relies on pollinators like bees. And did you know bees can visit up to 5,000 flowers in a single day? So while Bobbie buzzed from flower to flower, they were doing what bees do best, helping our world to bloom. Okay, Bobbie, we better keep going because we need to grab something to eat before we get on our last flight. What would you pick? We ended up going with this delicious noodle dish. Oh my goodness, it was hot, but it was so tasty. Because we were arriving late in the night, we needed to eat up our dinner before we headed to our last flight. Did you know they even had robots that would deliver the food to you? Check it out. Okay, it's time for liftoff into the night when we will arrive. Only a few more hours to go and we would be waking up in paradise. After our plane arrived safely, it was time for us to go and collect our luggage and get a good night's sleep for our big adventure to begin tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Good morning! I'm so glad you stuck around because we have officially arrived. The sun is out and the weather is hot. We are ready to adventure. Can you believe we were just getting around town in the back of a truck? Everything to see was so beautiful and we couldn't wait to get in the water. So let's head down to the docks to get on our boat tour so we can start exploring the beautiful scenery and seeing some animals in their natural habitat. Who do you think we're gonna see? Whoa! We were absolutely blown away by all the things that we saw in Male. And now, Bobbie, it's time to get on our boat and head over to Kenduma Island. This tropical paradise is a country made up of hundreds of tiny islands scattered across the Indian Ocean. Most people fly into Male, the capital city, just like we did, and then take boats, seaplanes, or even helicopters out to the smaller islands. Each island is like its own little world. Some have resorts, others are home to local communities, and all of them are surrounded by the most crystal clear water you have ever seen. There's so much to see and do on this island, so we wasted no time and got straight into all of the action. We spent our days snorkeling over the beautiful coral and building up our bravery to go swimming with the sharks. And don't worry, these are the friendly kind, I hope. No, I'm only joking. These are black tip reef sharks and they are genuinely pretty chill. They mostly eat small fish and aren't interested in snacking on people. According to the National Ocean Service, there are over 300 species of sharks and only about 12 are considered potentially dangerous to humans. I did have to be brave, but once I jumped in, it was amazing. Sometimes the coolest moments happen when you take a breath and face your fears. Bobbie was a little bit scared to go swim with the sharks. So instead, let's follow Bobbie around the island and take a look at this dreamy location. Maybe you could drop some bravery tips in the comments. And another one of Bobbie's favourite spots, the buffet, of course. All you can eat? What a dream. There were tropical fruits, cultural dishes, and fresh seafood straight from the ocean. You could sit by the pool, on the beach, or under the palm trees, listening to great music and taking in the vibes. And once we were fueled up and had filled ourselves to the brim of delicious food and, of course, dessert, then we were ready to go on some more adventures. But of course, as they say, all good things have to come to an end. And you know that Bobbie and I missed school too much. So we headed on back to the airport so we could make our way safely home to Australia. Thanks for coming along on the adventure. Bobbie said that next time we're going to fly first class. So we better start saving. See you next time.